You can literally install Kali Linux just like an application, GUI and all, inside of the Windows operating system. Stick around with me, and I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step procedure to getting Kali Linux up and running inside of Windows. But first, if this is the first time that we're meeting, welcome to my channel. My name is John Good, and here I get to spread my passion for cybersecurity training, tips and tricks, and career advice to help you go further. Remember to smash the thumbs up to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss future content, and make sure to leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. If you like my training and you want more, check out my website at johngood.com to get access to training courses without distracting interruptions or advertisements. Make sure that you sign up for my newsletter using the link in the description to get a free copy of my ebook on cybersecurity careers. You can also join me on the Discord server. The link is down in the description. All right, let's get into the video. Have you ever heard of WSL or Windows Subsystem for Linux? Essentially, WSL has made it possible to install the Linux operating system within Windows just like an application. I'm going to walk you through in this video how to do that with Kali Linux. I'll also leave all the commands and steps that you need in the description so that if you want to try it out with me, you can. All right, let's switch over to the computer. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you actually need to verify which version of Windows that you're running. So what I want you to do is I want you to go down to the start menu, and we're actually going to type WinVer and then hit return or enter. And you're going to get the Windows version that you have. So you have to have at least this version 2004 in order for this to actually work. If you don't have that version, then what you need to do is you need to go to the start menu and you need to update your computer. So do Windows updates. And we're going to check for updates. And then when you come in here, you'll have a bunch of updates probably you need to install if you're not at that version. And you just need to keep installing them until you at least get to that version. So now that we've confirmed that on my version, I have the correct version, so version 2004, we'll close out of these windows here. And we need to run a PowerShell instance as administrator. So I already have it on my toolbar here. But if you don't, you can go to the Windows button here and type in PowerShell and right click on Windows PowerShell and run as administrator. And then we'll hit yes. And then we'll go ahead and hit return just to bring up the prompt here. Now the first command that we need to run is we need to install the Windows Subsystem for Linux. So what we'll type is we'll type dism.exe online, enable feature, feature name, Microsoft, Windows, Subsystem, Linux. All and no restart. And then hit return. Again, this is going to install the Windows Subsystem for Linux. All right, just like that, it's installed. Now we need to enable the virtual machine platform feature. So the command that we're going to use is going to be dism again, online, enable feature, feature name, and then hit return. All right, now we need to go ahead and restart the computer. So I'll go ahead and restart this computer, and then I'll be back with you in a second. Now we need to set our default WSL version to version 2. So we're going to open up PowerShell again, and we're going to do this as administrator. So we're going to right click on it and run as administrator and click yes. Hit return to bring up the prompt and type WSL set default version to 2. Now you might get an error saying that you need to update your kernel, in which case it will give you an actual hyperlink that you need to follow and follow those different directions. But I didn't get that because I did updates recently, so I should be good to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show any Linux distributions that might be installed. Of course, I just did this, so there shouldn't be anything installed. But we're going to type WSL-L-V. Right, so we have no Linux distributions that are installed. If you normally type this command and you had something installed, you would, of course, see it in here. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind as far as that command. But again, I just installed it, so there's nothing on here yet. So now what we need to do is we need to go download Linux. So we're going to go to the start menu and we're going to type Microsoft Store. And then we're going to go to the search bar up here, and we're going to type Kali Linux. Hit return. And this is the one we're going to install right here. We'll click on that. And then we will click Git. And I'm not going to sign in on here, but you probably would sign in on your own computer. Go ahead and hit no thanks. And this is going to go ahead and download Kali Linux for us. All right, now it's downloaded and installed. I hope that you're enjoying the content in this video so far. If you are, make sure to hit the thumbs up to like this video. And if you think of any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Also remember that this training and courses can be found on my website at johngood.com without distracting interruptions or advertisements. All right, let's get back to the content. Now that we've installed Kali Linux, we need to go ahead and launch it. So let's go ahead and hit launch. Now on here, it looks like we need a kernel component update. So it gives us this website. So let's grab that and go ahead and open up Edge. And we need to download the latest WSL2 Linux kernel. All right, let's go ahead and open that. And we'll go ahead and install this. And finish. There we go. Go back here. And let's go ahead and hit launch again. All right, and this is going to go ahead and continue the installation process for us. All right, now we need to configure an account for Kali Linux. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in a username of John, and I'll do a super secret password of Toor, so T-O-O-R, and I'll retype that. All right, so now we have a working copy at the command line of Kali Linux. So we can do all of these standard kind of commands for Linux. So IP88DR, and we'll get our IP addresses and everything like that. So now we're going to start taking a step further so we can set up the actual GUI interface. So the first thing that we're going to do is we need to actually update our system references. So we're going to do sudo apt update. And we'll enter in our super secret password. All right, perfect. That was successful. Go ahead and close out these other windows here. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to install our updates and install the Kali desktop experience for Windows. So I'll go ahead and type the command in here to do that. And when we're looking at this command, this is going to do the updates here, this first part. And the second part is for the desktop experience for Windows for Kali. We'll go ahead and hit enter. And we do want to continue with this, so we'll hit Y for yes. All right, and here's the second prompt that we're getting. Again, we'll go ahead and hit Y for yes, and then hit enter. And as you can see, it's installing a bunch of the Kali components that we need. All right, now we have to do some configuration here. So this is going to be with the keyboard that you're going to be doing this. So the arrows. And we're going to do an English US keyboard. We'll hit return. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different things that this has to install as it's going through. So remember, it's going to take a little bit of time for it to finish, but just let it keep going, and then eventually it will have everything installed that you need. Okay, so what have we done in this video so far? Well, we set up WSL2, we installed Kali, and we updated Kali. Now we need to get that graphical user interface up and running. So how do we do that? Well, let's go back to the computer. To get the graphical user interface, it's super easy. All we have to do, we type KEX and return. It's going to ask us for a password that we want to set. So I will go ahead and type in a super secret password here, and then we'll verify it. And we're going to actually select no for this, but we do not want to create a view only password. And there we go. We have the graphical user interface for Kali Linux on our Windows system. Now, if we go to the menu here for Kali, something that you're going to notice is it's going to be a little bit different than the other version if you were to actually get the ISO directly from Kali. It's not going to have all the tools that come preloaded with that ISO. And that's one of the downsides of doing it this way. You actually have to go and install those specific applications. That could also be a good thing because, again, there's less vulnerabilities, less attack surfaces, Anything that you're installing, you are actually installing it. It's not coming preloaded with a bunch of stuff, but that's going to have some downsides to doing it. So just keep that in mind. There are downsides to doing it this way. Question of the day. Do you prefer this method of installing Kali, or do you actually prefer using a virtual machine with software like VMware? Let me know down in the comment section below. In this video, we walked through how to install Kali Linux with the GUI in the Windows operating system using WSL. Today, there's all kinds of different ways that you can install a guest operating system on your computer, and you aren't strictly limited to having to use things like VMware to install virtual machines. Remember though, just like I said with Kali Linux, if you install it this way, you aren't going to get a lot of those pre-built-in tools like if you went and got the ISO from Kali. So just keep that in mind. As always, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my website at johngood.com for more training without distracting interruptions or advertisements. And I'll see you next time.